everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing this super duper intense makeup look inspired by Kim Kardashian and her makeup artist Mario. This makeup look was definitely going viral and everybody was instantly obsessed with it. I know I was when he first posted the look on Instagram. And I know there have been tons of videos of this tutorial already, but I've been wanting to do a tutorial literally since I saw him post the picture. So even though there's been tons of these already, I hope you guys enjoy this anyway. As most of you guys know, I am Lebanese, and I feel like this look makes me look 10 times more Middle Eastern than I already do. So I do like it, but it definitely is super crazy and intense and smoky for me. But let me know what you guys think of it down below. So in case you guys haven't seen the look, which I'm sure most of you have, this is what it looks like. Again, it's just a super black, winged out, and cat eye look. I'm sure that I did not do this look justice because this is amazing and Mario's work is amazing, but I still wanted to try it out anyway. Before we get into this video, if you guys like me and do like my channel, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I would love to have you guys here. So without further ado, if you guys want to see how to get this super intense cat eye black wing liner look, then please keep watching. Okay, so in the picture, Kim's skin was super dewy and super glowy, so I already went ahead and moisturized my entire face. I'm going to be combining two primers today. I'm going to be combining the Too Faced Hangover Primer, and I'm also going to be using the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I'm going to apply this one first with my fingers, and then this one with the Pink Beauty Blender. Now that my face is super glowy and super dewy, I'm going to go in with my foundation, and today I'm going to be using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and I'm in the shade 5.25, and again I'm just going to use my Pink Beauty Blender to apply this all over my face. For concealer today, I'm going to be going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this one is in the shade Light Medium Honey. I'm going to be putting some under my eyes, and I'm just going to drag them into triangles instead of drawing the shape of a triangle, and then some on the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and my chin. And I'm going to blend this in with my black Beauty Blender. I'm just going to go ahead and set all of the concealer with my Mercier translucent powder, and I'm also going to set along my smile lines and along where I'm going to be powder contouring. That way I'm not contouring over cream and it doesn't make it patchy. For nose contour, I'm going to keep it kind of light today because it doesn't seem like her nose is too chiseled out from the angle of the picture at least. So I'm going to go in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and the Morphe M210. And instead of cutting off my nose in the middle, I'm just going to do it along the sides and a little bit down below. A little bit underneath my bottom lip too, to make my lips appear a little bit bigger. So now I'm going to start to contour out my cheekbones. Her cheekbones are super chiseled out in this picture, and her contour is super intense. So I'm going to be taking two different brushes for the contour, and then I'm also going to be going in and bronzing up the face. But first, I'm just going to go in with the Morphe M523 and my Butter Bronzer again. I'm just going to swirl my brush in, and I'm going to go from the top of my ear and drag it down to about right here. Also at the top of my forehead and on the sides right here, because it definitely seems like it's brought from here all the way up to her forehead. And I don't usually take my contour all the way across my forehead, but I'm going to go ahead and do that today because she definitely has it all the way around, so. and then some on my jawline. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe away the bake underneath my eyes and around my nose. So I'm going to go in with this big fluffy blending brush. This is the Morphe E27. And I'm going to dip back into the butter bronzer, and I'm going to put it right in the hollow in the middle of my cheek because it seems like her contour is really intensified right here. So I'm going to make it look like it's just a deeper indent in my cheekbone. And then I'm just going to go back in with the Morphe M523 and just blend everything together. Then I'm going to go in with the Morphe M527, and I'm going to go into the Manizer sisters from TheBalm. And I'm going to take Betty Luminizer, which is just this shimmery bronzer on the end. And I'm going to bronze my entire face with this. And this bronzer also has a little bit of a sheen to it, which is good because she's definitely glowing. So this will give us a little bit of a glow at the same time. And I'm just going to take this down to my neck as well, just so we don't have as big of a difference from my face to my neck. Now that we're all bronzed, I'm going to go in with my favorite warm toned blush, which is like a bronzy mauve-y color, I would say. And I'm just going to take this onto my cheekbones and on the apples of my cheeks, and I'm just going to kind of bring it out into my contour. And please ignore my broken mirror. It's been this way for a long time. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this with my Morphe MB4. And I'm focusing this more towards the bottom of my cheekbones and dragging it out, because if I do it up too high, it just doesn't blend as well, and it looks like more of like a blob of blush on my cheek instead of just like bringing back some life to my face. And for the final step of my face, I'm going to be going into the Carli Bybel palette. This is the first one, and I'm just going to take this golden highlighter right here. Her palettes don't have shade names, but it's just the third highlighter shade. And I'm going to take my Morphe M310 fan brush, and I'm going to apply this to the high points of my cheeks, a little bit of what's remaining on my brush onto my forehead, some on the bridge of my nose, my chin, and on my cupid's bow. I'm highlighting a lot more than usual because Kim, again, is super glowy and highlighted in this picture, so we're going to go a little bit crazy. I'm also going to put some of this on my collarbones and on the tops of my shoulders. And then to highlight my cupid's bow and the tip of my nose, I'm going to be using my Morphe M170-4, and I'm going to be using this shade, the second highlighter shade right here. Okay, so I went ahead and did this eye off camera, and I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty intense look for me. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's really pretty, but I've never really been a fan of the inner corner point right here, but we will see how I like it when we come to the end. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this eye. So to start off the look, I'm gonna go in with my YSL Couture Eye Primer and just prime my lid for the shades that we're gonna be putting on top of it. Once my lid is primed, I'm going to go into the Kylie Bronze Palette, and I'm going to take the shade right up here. I believe it's called Jasper, I don't know, because all of the shades rubbed off of the back of my palette, but I think it's in the shade Jasper, correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm just going to take my Morphe E23 brush, and I'm just going to put this all over my lid just to kind of set the primer and give us like a white base. So the crease shades are super simple. It basically just looks like she has a little bit of like a brown and a red undertone into her crease, just for like some definition and nothing too crazy because the liner is definitely stealing the show. So I'm going to go in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer on my Morphe M439, and I'm just going to kind of put this into my crease very lightly. After I have the shade into my crease, I'm going to go back in the Kylie Bronze palette. I'm going to take this reddish undertone brown, this is called Hematite, on the same brush. And again, I'm just going to lightly place this into the crease. So that's pretty much all we're going to be doing for the eyeshadow. I'm going to move on to the liner, which of course is the most important part of this look. So I rarely ever use gel liners, but I figured that this would work well for this look in particular because it's kind of easier to smudge than a liquid that ends up drying down and then sometimes gets flaky. So I'm using the MAC Black Track Fluid line. And I'm taking this on an angled brush. I don't know, like, this brush has no number or anything. It's a Wacol brush. And I'm just going to dip my angled brush into this. And if you need to, you can kind of spray your brush to get a little bit more of a precise line, and the black will go on easier. So I'm just going to dip my brush in here. And I'm going to start from the bottom of my lower lash line and work my way up. And then for more towards the inner corner of my eye, I'm going to go in with my paintbrush and some e.l.f. liquid liner. And I'm just going to apply this to the front part of the eyeliner. It's just a little bit easier to use the paintbrush in the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So once we have the shape of the winged liner, this is when I'm going to start to smudge the liner out with a black eyeshadow. So I'm going to take Obsidian from the Kylie Bronze palette on that same angled brush, and I'm just going to kind of lay down the black shadow first and then smudge it out with a different brush. So now I'm going to go in with the Morphe M170-4, and I'm just going to lightly begin to blend this out. So now I'm going to begin to create the inner corner point. So I'm going to go ahead and spray my brush again and make sure that it's like super damp. And then I'm going to go back in with the black track and begin to create the inner corner point. This is so hard for me, so I can't really talk while I'm doing it, but just make sure that you line it up with the other one. And then I'll just go back in with the paintbrush and kind of clean it up a little bit. And then I'll just go in with the black track again and line it into my bottom waterline. And then I'm just going to take Obsidian again on the Morphe M170-4 and smoke it underneath my bottom lash line. Then I'm going to go in with my Tarte Double Take Eyeliner and Tightline and put it on my bottom waterline. And I'm using the pencil side. Okay, so in the picture, apparently Kim did not have any false lashes on. So I'm just going to go ahead and curl my lashes, and then I'm going to apply my favorite mascara. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Million Lashes Excess Mascara. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to my top and bottom lashes. I'm going to go back into the Carli palette, and I'm going to take that golden highlighter again and put it on top of my brow bone. And for lips, of course, I'm going to go in with the KKW times Kylie Cosmetics Cream Liquid Lipstick, and this one's in the shade Kimberly. And I'm going to take my Dolce K lip liner and line my lips. And lastly, to finish off this look, I don't want to go in with my NYX matte finish spray because, again, her look is super glowy. So I know this isn't a setting spray, but this is definitely going to leave us that dewy finish. So I'm going to go in with the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray and spray my entire face with this. So this is the final result. I know that this look is super intense and crazy, but I just think it's so beautiful and looked so beautiful on Kim. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial anyway. And if you have recreated this look yourself, definitely send them to me because I've been loving seeing all of the recreations of this look, and all of my social medias are linked down below so you can snap them to me, Instagram them to me, whatever you like. Also, if you did like this tutorial, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe before you leave. So thank you guys so much for watching again, and I hope to see you guys next time.